Hi, my name is Erin Riker, and I am the technology-based legal services attorney at the Center for Elder Law and Justice.
And my name is Kristen Orr, and I am the tech paralegal at the Center for Elder Law and Justice.
We're here today to introduce you to the Senior Financial Safety Tool and let you know how you can use it to assist your senior clients. Our project partners on the tool are Pro Bono Net, Neota Logic, Lakeshore Savings Bank, and Erie County Adult Protective Services. We're grateful for their support. The Senior Financial Safety Tool is a web-based application that lets partner organizations and older adults screen themselves for risk of financial exploitation and to connect them with resources and self-help material when necessary. Partner organizations can be bank customer service departments, they can be social workers, or they can be really any organization that works with older adults.
The issue at play here is financial exploitation. This is the most common type of elder abuse in the United States. Since 2013, banks and financial institutions have reported over 180,000 suspicious activities targeting our older adults, involving a total of more than $6 billion lost. A big problem here is that action is not being taken when suspicious activity is detected, and the only way to stop it is to report it. Older adults in rural areas may be at higher risk due to their limited access to resources, transportation, physical banking offices. Over 55% of financial abuse in the United States is committed by family members, caregivers, and friends. So some warning signs for you to look out for financial exploitation. If a customer is withdrawing large sums of cash, especially if they are making multiple withdrawals in the same day or for 2 or 3 days, that's a good indicator that they may be the victim of a scam. Most people don't need thousands and thousands of dollars in cash, but scammers like to deal in cash. It's much harder to track. If a customer is secretive, upset, seems uncomfortable with either the transaction that they're making or uncomfortable with you asking questions, that's another good sign that something might not be quite right. If they're suddenly bringing someone new to the bank, they have a new power of attorney, a family member you've never heard of, a new friend or love interest that's overly involved in their finances when they've never needed that assistance before, that's also something to look out for. Similarly, if they're on the phone with you or physically with someone who seems to be in control and the customer is sort of deferring to that other person, you should take a second look and see why that is, if that person is to be trusted. If the customer can't or won't tell you why they are making the withdrawal or deposit, they don't want to share that information, or they don't really know why they're making the withdrawal, that's definitely a sign that they may be the victim of a scam or being exploited. And then any unusual activity, if after years and years of only banking in person, they're suddenly using their ATM or online banking, years of being consistent on their payments, and now they're overdrawing their account. Those are also good factors to look out for, that something may be going wrong.
There are some available screening tools in order to detect and address financial exploitation. The Center for Elder Law and Justice has our Senior Financial Safety Tool, which you'll learn about today, and our Legal Risk Detector that are available as web applications to screen for legal and financial risk. For Adult Protective Services employees, New York State Office of Children and Family Services also has what's called the Financial Exploitation Set of Tools, or FIEST. The Senior Financial Safety Tool identifies and flags potential risks of financial exploitation. It's important to note that these are potential. It does not necessarily mean that financial exploitation has already happened. It just means that there's risk that it might be going on in the future. The senior financial safety tool is specific in scope. You should use it when financial exploitation is suspected, when you see some of those warning signs that we went over in the previous slide. A good way to begin the conversation with a customer is to just offer them a free financial health checkup, or tell them that you are wanting to go over their financial health with them. A lot of people will be more susceptible to that than if you tell them right away you think they're being financially exploited and you want to run their information through a computer. The Senior Financial Safety Tool does provide referral information for appropriate legal and non-legal resources if the customer wants it. If they want legal resources, it will refer them to our office. If they don't want legal resources, it will not refer them. In all cases, whether or not someone wants legal assistance, it will generate financial best practices based on the customer's answers for things that they can do to protect themselves.
The legal risk detector screens for potential legal issues involving housing, debt, financial exploitation, healthcare, and abuse. So where the senior financial safety tool is specifically focused on exploitation, financial exploitation, the legal risk detector is intentionally vague. It intentionally covers a wide range of issues. So it would be good to use for the initial meeting with your client to sort of get the overall sense of their legal health. It covers a wide range of issues in order to get an accurate picture of what you're dealing with. The FIEST is an investigative tool meant to assist with criminal financial exploitation cases. So its purpose is to build a case to send to the state for prosecution, as opposed to providing immediate assistance to the victim. Whereas the senior financial safety tool would refer a client to our office and we can work on immediate assistance. The FIEST is meant for criminal matters. So it does not provide referral information for legal assistance. So it would be a good idea to use it in conjunction with the senior financial safety tool. You'd use the FIEST to prepare for potential future criminal cases, and the senior financial safety tool to assist the individual in the present, work on things that you can do right now to protect them and help protect them now and in the future.
The goals of our senior financial safety tool collaboration is to first train professionals on financial exploitation and provide regular updates regarding new scams or rules related to financial exploitation of older adults. We also want to empower agency partners and anyone who works with seniors to make referrals if financial exploitation is suspected. We want to connect seniors directly with person-centered services while in-person meetings may not be possible. And we want to make sure that our partners provide feedback to refine and improve the senior financial safety tool. There are 4 steps in this collaboration process. Step 1 is training. We want to train our project partners on the financial exploitation, including training on scams, training on other forms of financial abuse, and training on exploitation involving a power of attorney. We also want to train people on how to introduce the senior financial safety tool to their customers or to the seniors that they are working with. We want to make sure that people are conversational, work it into a conversation in a casual manner, emphasize that everything said in the tool or reported in the tool is completely confidential, and not to cause alarm, to offer them a free financial health checkup rather than telling them flat out that you think they're being financially exploited. The goal is to get people comfortable enough to use the tool, and that way they will provide more accurate information and you can get a better read on what's really going on with their financial health. And also, it should be emphasized that the referral, if they want legal assistance, will be sent to a trusted partner. Step 2, during the interview, there are 4 parts to using the senior financial safety tool. It should take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. Part 1 just asks for age, account status, and activity. Part 2 asks some questions about a power of attorney. Part 3 asks questions that will determine whether your senior has been part of an unwanted solicitation or a scam. And Part 4 asks about contact with friends and family, because seniors who do not have a lot of social supports are more likely to be victims of scams. This is what the Senior Financial Safety Tool homepage looks like. The arrow pointing to the smaller box is what pops up if you hover over the About This app and what is financial exploitation. When you get to the tool, it has the button to begin the risk assessment, and that's what you would do when you are running a senior through the financial safety tool screening.
So the tool will ask questions, and as you select yes or no, additional questions may populate based on that response. If the follow-up questions are not relevant, they will not appear. So in this example, does the customer have a power of attorney in place? We've answered yes. These additional questions populate. If the answer was no, these follow-up questions don't apply, and therefore they would not appear. At the end of the 4-part interview, we ask if they are a customer of Lakeshore Savings, as Lakeshore is one of our partners, and then we have the offer of help. CELJ follow-up is not required in order to get the full report, but we do highly recommend that any senior who may be found to be at risk of financial exploitation be referred for additional support. So here's another example of what the screen will look like. You'll hit find the report. The report is shown below, and then also in 2 downloadable formats, as a Word document and as a PDF. So you can click on either of those to receive the report, print it out, email it, etc. And then here's an overview on our inputs. So the overview, it either flags or has a green check mark if it's not concerning. There's a notes section that contains information regarding some advice that the seniors can use to further protect themselves, and then suggested resources, contact information for organizations that might be able to help your customer avoid or address their financial exploitation.
Okay, step 3 is the report and follow-up. The client or the senior, if they're screening themselves, can choose to have the report sent to the Center for Elder Law and Justice for follow-up assistance. The tool itself does not provide legal advice, and using the tool does not form an attorney-client relationship between any of the parties. The report is sent for a referral to the Center for Elder Law and Justice for further legal assistance only if the senior wants that assistance. CELJ will follow up within 2 business days for appropriate handling. And appropriate handling could include full legal representation. It could include brief advice and counsel as far as what they can do to protect themselves from financial exploitation. Or it could include, at the bare minimum, an assisted referral, a referral to another resource that might be more applicable to what the senior needs than legal assistance would be. The consumer rights and referral information will be provided to everyone who has gone through the screening process, whether or not they choose to have their report sent to the Center for Elder Law and Justice for legal assistance. So what do referrals to CELJ look like? First and foremost, all of our legal assistance is provided free of charge. When a referral is received by our agency, CELJ will contact the client and send them representation documents. These are required to formalize the attorney-client relationship and allow us to give specific legal advice. The referring agency or the referring organization can remain involved to the extent that the client wants and the extent that the organization wants, while taking confidentiality and privacy concerns into account. As this would be an attorney-client relationship, we are bound by the duty of confidentiality and privacy to our clients. Most importantly, CELJ or any attorney cannot take any legal action without the victim's explicit consent. The victim can withdraw this consent at any time. The victim can put limits on what legal actions they want us to take based on their consent. Even if they admit that a crime has been committed, we cannot do any follow-up or contact law enforcement unless we have been specifically directed to do so by the client. So the client, the senior who's being screened, the person who is being subject to financial exploitation, they're in the driver's seat to decide how much assistance they want from our agency. And what can CELJ do? We can run credit reports to identify suspicious activity or to identify accounts that the customer doesn't recognize. We can assist the customer with freezing or closing bank accounts or credit cards that have been compromised. We can report fraud to the Federal Trade Commission, including being done anonymously. We can review the client's accounts to look for suspicious transactions, to confirm or remove joint owners and beneficiaries to the client's wishes, and to educate clients on best practices for managing and maintaining their finances in a way that leaves them less likely to be financially exploited. We can revoke powers of attorney when the agent under the power of attorney is not behaving correctly. We can connect the clients with emotional support, counseling, and mediation services as appropriate. This is particularly useful when clients are being financially exploited by family members. They may not want to press criminal charges, but they may be in need of some mediation in order to resolve some issues between them and the person who is financially exploiting them. And finally, if the client wants, we can assist with filing police reports and orders of protection. So now let's take the app for a test run. In this scenario, the screener, Kristen, is a Lakeshore Savings Bank employee, and she's offering to run through the Senior Financial Safety Tool with the client, Erin.
Well, Erin, we've partnered with the Center for Elder Law and Justice to develop the Senior Financial Safety Tool. It's a free financial health checkup to see if you're at risk for possible financial exploitation. It should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. Are you interested in completing this with me?
I'm not really sure because I don't know if I want my information being sent to anyone.
Well, you will have the option to send your answers to CELJ and have someone call you to discuss them, but you don't have to. If you decide at the end of the assessment that you do not want assistance, you'll still be able to see your results and recommendations, but your answers and information will not get sent to CELJ.
Well, in that case, let's just try it out.
Great. Before we get started, I just need to go over some general terms with you. This tool will assess if you are at risk of financial exploitation. The report generated is for informational purposes only and is not to be interpreted as legal or financial advice. The information contained is not necessarily applicable to your specific issue. Do you understand and accept these terms?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I just need to answer a couple questions about how you found out about the tool.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll need to ask you a few questions. At the end of these questions, you'll receive a summary of your results, which will alert you if there's anything you need to be aware of, and you can receive referrals to additional help if you need it. First, I need to ask, how old are you?
I'm 85.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about your bank accounts. Are you the only person listed as an owner on your bank account, or are there other joint owners?
No, my daughter is joint on the account with me.
Do you remember when she was added on the account?
I think a few years ago, she helps me keep track of my bills, so that's why she's there.
Okay, and whose idea was it to add her onto the account?
Well, I missed a couple of payments, so I asked her to be added in order to help me out.
So then, would you say that you felt pressured to add her onto your account as a joint owner?
Oh no, I trust her.
I'm glad to hear that. Do you both receive the bank statement either through the mail or with online banking, or just you or just your daughter?
I get my statements in the mail every month, but I think she might do something with the online version.
Okay, great. And when was the last time that you reviewed your monthly statement?
I don't know. I'm not that great about it, so maybe a few months ago.
Okay, when you did review it, do you remember seeing any transactions that you didn't recognize?
I don't know, maybe. It's so overwhelming. By the time I get the statement, I can't always remember making all those transactions. So, I mean, maybe I did, but it's overwhelming, so I just don't like to look at them.
Okay, when we get the full report, let's talk through some options for you to maybe make this part easier. In the meantime, do you know if anyone else besides you and your daughter have access to the account?
I don't think so, but I don't really know.
Okay. Do you have a power of attorney document set up? A power of attorney, or a POA, is a legal document that appoints someone to act on your behalf to access your finances or represent you in business or legal matters.
Well, my POA was my daughter who's on the bank account with me, but I replaced that old document with a new one, and now it's my granddaughter.
Okay. Does your granddaughter as POA help you out at all with managing your finances?
To tell you the truth, I don't really know what she's doing.
All right, the next question asks if you've known your agent more or less than 1 year. So I'm guessing that would be more since it's your granddaughter.
Oh, yes, she's 22 and I've been involved her entire life.
When exactly did you change your power of attorney? And can I ask why you changed your agent from your daughter to your granddaughter?
Well, I know I signed something a couple of months ago. I don't really remember why. I think my granddaughter told me that my daughter was really busy and that my granddaughter would be able to help me more. Also, she told me that the law changed, so I had to get a new POA anyways.
So would you say then that it was your granddaughter's idea for you to change your power of attorney?
Well, yes, I know she had her reasons, but I don't really remember every part of the conversation.
Okay. In that case, would you say that you felt any pressure to change your agent from your daughter to your granddaughter?
I mean, I don't know. She's my granddaughter.
Okay, I only have one more question about your POA and then we can move on. Sometimes attorneys will prepare the power of attorney document for you. When you signed your POA, did you meet with an attorney alone to explain what you were signing?
No, she said I didn't need an attorney to be involved. She just brought me the papers.
Okay. Thanks for sharing all that with me. Now I'm going to read a list of scenarios. Can you please tell me if any of these situations happened to you in the last 6 months?
Okay.
Has anyone contacted you by telephone or online, maybe claiming to be from a government agency or other institution, and asked you for your social security number?
No,
Has anyone, either a stranger or someone you know, asked you to send money to them or to someone that you don't know?
no,
Has anyone contacted you by telephone or online to ask for your personal or financial information? Things like your bank account information, your birthday, details about your social security or your retirement benefits, anything else out of the ordinary?
nope,
Have you been told that you've won a prize or are eligible for a refund that you don't remember applying for? Have you been asked to make a payment or open an account in order to collect your prize winnings?
no.
Do you remember signing or being asked to sign a document that you do not understand?
Well, I mean, we talked about I don't really understand why I needed to sign a new POA.
Okay. Has anyone asked you for your ATM, debit card, or credit card information?
Maybe my granddaughter might have borrowed my cards to go shopping.
Have you been asked to make any financial decision that made you feel a little nervous or suspicious? Maybe someone asked for money or to be added as an owner or a beneficiary on an account, or maybe they asked you to open a new account for someone else.
Well, I mean, you're making me a little nervous about my granddaughter now.
Okay. We can talk about your granddaughter and the POA more at the end after we get the report. In the meantime, has anyone asked you to buy gift cards either for the purposes of processing a refund or making a payment?
Oh, no, I know that's a scam.
Okay, great. Now I'd like to ask you a few questions relating to COVID-19 and stimulus payments. So same deal. I'll read you a list of scenarios and you can tell me yes or no whether or not they happened. So the first one, has anyone contacted you and offered to sell you a testing kit for COVID-19?
No, I know you can get those for free.
Okay, has anyone contacted you trying to sell a cure or treatment for COVID-19?
No.
Has anyone from the IRS contacted you, or has anyone offered to contact the IRS for you in order to speed up delivery of any stimulus payments?
No.
Has anyone contacted you and offered to schedule you for a COVID-19 vaccine in exchange for a fee?
No, I'm already vaccinated.
Great. And finally, has anyone texted you a link to check the status of your stimulus payment, your tax refund, or your vaccine eligibility?
Nope.
Okay, great. So none of those apply. Now, I know things have been difficult with COVID-19, but how often would you say that you have contact with your family or friends? This can be a brief visit, a phone call, social media interaction, attending a service or community event, or any other contact with your family and friends.
Probably almost every other day.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for taking the time to go through those questions with me. According to the screening tool, there are some signs that you may be at risk of financial exploitation. But don't worry, this does not mean that you're being exploited, only that your answers indicate this might be a possibility. And help is available if you want it. Because Lakeshore Savings Bank is a partner organization that helped develop the Senior Financial Safety Tool, we do ask everyone who completes it if they are a customer of the bank. So I'm just marking that yes, you are. Let's continue to your detailed financial safety report. Would you like to go over the report and have the Center for Elder Law and Justice follow up to provide you with free legal services if necessary?
Yes, please.
Okay, I just need some brief information from you so that a representative from the Center for Elder Law and Justice can contact you. So can I have your first and last name?
Erin, E-R-I-N. Riker, R-I-K-E-R.
And your address?
438 Main Street. That's in Buffalo.
And that's Erie County?
Yes, 14202.
Okay, and do you have a safe phone number or email that CELJ can contact you with?
My phone number is 716-853-3087. And my email is eriker@elderjusticeny.org.
And when is better to contact you, morning or afternoon?
Morning would be better.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now I'm just going to input my contact information as well since I assisted you with completing the tool.
Okay.
Since you indicated that you wanted follow-up from CELJ, the report was sent directly to their agency. Someone will contact you within the next 2 days to go over the report with you. I can also print you out a copy for your records or send you a copy via email.
I'd love for you to print a copy for me to take home so I can show my daughter.
Thank you so much for using the Senior Financial Safety Tool. Do you have any further questions for me?
I don't think so. So thank you for your time.
Thanks again and have a great day.